The story of the two sons of Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam, Khabil and Habil. Allah has said in the Quran, "Relate to them, O Prophet, with truth the story of the two sons of Adam, when they offered a sacrifice, but it was accepted of one of them, and not accepted of the other. The latter said, I will certainly slay you. The other said, Allah accepts only from the God-fearing. Yet if you stretch out your hand against me to slay me, I shall not stretch out my hand against you to slay you. Surely I fear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. I would rather wish you to bear the sin against me and your own previous sin, so that you may become one of the companions of the fire. That is a recompense of the evildoers." Even then the soul prompted him to slay his brother, and he slew him, so he became one of the losers. Then Allah sent a raven scratching the ground to show him how he might cover the corpse of his brother. He then said, "Woe unto me! Am I not able to be as this raven, and so cover my brother's corpse?" And he became one of the remorseful. Surah Al-Ma'idah, verses 27 to 31. Having identified the verses of the Quran concerning this story, let us now see what our past scholars said about it. Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam married the son from one pair of birth to the daughter from another pair. So, Habil was said to marry the twin sister of Khabil, who was older than him, and himself wanted to marry his own twin sister because she was more beautiful than the twin sister of Habil, whom he was supposed to marry. Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam commanded him to marry the sister of Habil, and let Habil marry his, that is Qabil's sister, but he refused to obey. So Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam commanded them to each offer a sacrifice, and himself went to perform the Hajj. Both of them offered their sacrifices. Habil chose a fat, opulent ram, for he was the owner of a flock of sheep and goats. Khabil, on the other hand, chose a sheaf of reaped, rejected corn from his own cultivation. A fire came down and burnt out the sacrifice of Habil, leaving that of Khabil untouched. This further angered Khabil. He was in a terrible rage and said to Habil, "I will kill you, that you may not marry my sister." He answered, "Surely Allah accepts only from those who are devoted to Him." This version was reported by Suddi and is traced down to Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu and some of his companions radiyallahu anhum. However, another version from a line of transmission ending at Abdullah bin Amr radiyallahu anhu tells us, "By Allah, the slain man was stronger of the two, but he was precluded from extending his hand because of his pity and fear of Allah." It is stated by Abu Ja'far al-Baqir that Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam was watching the two of them presenting their sacrifices and the acceptance of Habil's sacrifice and rejection of Qabil's. So Qabil complained to his father that Habil's sacrifice was accepted because he had prayed to Allah for Habil but had not prayed for him, that is Qabil. He threatened his brother that he would settle the score with him. One night Habil was late in returning home from his daily tending of sheep. So Sayyidina Adam Alaihissalam sent his brother Qabil to fetch him and see what delayed him. When he went out, he found him there and complained to him, "It has been accepted from you, but not accepted from me." So Habil said, "Indeed, Allah accepts only the righteous who fear Him." This caused Qabil to fly in a rage, and he hit Habil with an iron rod that he had in his hands. But it is also said that he struck him with a stone that he aimed at his head while he was sleeping and fractured it. It is also said that he strangled him severely until he died and bit him as a predatory animal would. Anyway, he died, and Allah alone knows the truth. The response of Habil when Khabil threatened to slay him, as we have seen in the verse of the Quran, shows that he possessed a good moral character and feared Allah. This is why he refrained from opposing his brother and wishing ill for him as he had wished for him. The relative verse of the Quran is the 28th of the 5th surah, that is Surah Al-Ma'idah. Therefore, a hadith in Bukhari as well as Muslim confirms the saying of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is, if two Muslims take out their sword against each other, then both the slayer and the slain will be in hellfire. He was asked, that was the slayer, but what had the slain done? He explained, he was eager to kill the other man. See Bukhari, hadith number 7083. According to the Quran, Habil made it clear that he had no intention to slay his brother Khabil, although he was stronger and more powerful. He said, if you bear evil intentions, I have no such mind. You may bear the sin against me and your own sin that you will commit on murdering me, and what you may have committed earlier. This is what was reported by Mujahid, Suddi, Ibn Jarir and others. It does not follow, however, that the sins of the slain fall automatically on the murderer, as indeed some people suppose. Yet it is agreed about some people that on the day of resurrection, the person killed will be recompensed with good deeds of the killer, but if they are not enough, then the evil deeds of the former will be put in the account of the latter until the former is recompensed. But then this applies to all the tormented and tormentors, as is evident from the ahadith. Murder is the gravest of these deeds, and Allah knows the best. The story of the two sons of Sayyidina Aadam Alaihissalam.